The FA Cup has this wonderful sense of history, and history about to be made before our eyes today as the two Manchester clubs meet at Wembley for the first time in a semi-final for only the second time in this competition. We did play a semi-final last season in the League Cup, played over 2 legs. City won the first 2-1 and trumped 3-1 at Old Trafford. And that's rather the way it's gone for Manchester City against United. The poor relations, but they're certainly not poor in terms of the finances backing the club at the moment.
Certainly already seeing Silva come infield from his wide left position. He wants to get involved in the play as much as possible. He's the key player for me. As too is this one here, Yaya Toure.
Forward goes Kolarov. And Yaya Toure continues his run. And he can run.
Certainly can. Everyone thought of him as a holding midfield player at Barcelona. Certainly not that at Man City. Plays behind the main player. Mancini's changed his game style. He certainly is a powerful runner, both with the ball and off the ball.
Nice chase for Berbatov. Company had him in his sights. Joe Hart is the Manchester City goalkeeper. Another who's had an excellent campaign. And Lescott. Challenged by the eager South Korean Park. Here's Adam Johnson. Not always trusted for the big games by Roberto Mancini, but he's in today from the start. His insurance and De Jong and Barry in front of the back four. Silva. Zabaleta, his first game after spending nearly a month back in his native Argentina on compassionate leave. His father was badly injured in a road accident, but has happily put himself on the mend now. Kolarov with the header. Manchester City were truly awful by their own admission on Monday, away to Liverpool in the Premier League. When they met up as a group on Wednesday, Roberto Mancini said, "That's it, forget about it, put it behind us, we're looking forward." And they had plenty to look forward to in this.
Already Manchester United will try to play a couple of balls in behind Man City. I'm not sure Berbatov got the pace to really worry Lescott or company.
Goals blocked by Yaya Toure. So Rio Ferdinand's had quite a day already. Congratulations to him and his family. Must have been quite an interesting call for Alex Ferguson. Would have felt the distractions perhaps in a less experienced player kind of ruled him out for the game. Johnson. Manchester United, of course, on the trail of another treble. Something that they achieved in 1999, and many felt would never happen again, and it might not happen again. But they're well placed in the Premier League. They're into the semi-finals of the Champions League. And they've avoided Barcelona in that respect. They play Schalke, and they've seen off Chelsea in the All-England quarter-final. Flag was up. Obviously got communication with the touchline and Michael Phelan and company. The challenge was by Valencia. Berbatov felt he was blocked off. Mike Dean didn't agree with the United appeals.
Once again, Berbatov didn't really have the pace to get at Man City's back four. A chance to run at them. He was claiming a foul. He just put his foot on the ball to try and change direction.
United came through a pretty tough quarter-final against Arsenal. Scholes anxious to get on the ball and try and dictate the shape of this first half. Carrick rewarded from recent performances with an extension to his contract, and that seems to have increased the calibre of his play even more, the gesture of faith in his abilities by Manchester United. Pressure by Nani. Beyond the Dutchman. Lescott. He was with Everton when they knocked Manchester United out of the semi-final a couple of years back. Silva. Awkward for Barry, but he managed to ease it back to where Silva could collect the ball again, and he loves being on the ball, the Spaniard. Park. Scholes. Nice play by Manchester United. That was flat and nobody saw it really. Certainly those who had blown a whistle or raised the flag. That team wants United to play on, although Valencia was on his haunches. He's on his feet now, and there are plenty in red forward. Valencia's on the ball. Scholes. Not quite got the early radar right.
Well, there's not been a lot of pressure on the ball so far. This was one where it was a crunching challenge. Collar off on Valencia. Valencia just getting there first. Should have been a free kick. Ji-sung Parker started the game well. Kolar's under a bit of pressure with Valencia. In a 1v1 situation, you always fancy Valencia to get past Kolarov. Kolarov's got a good left foot. Mike Dean trying to allow the play to flow.
Valencia, who's back in the team from a serious injury back in September. Back in the last 7 games, and 1 all 7. Carrick. Has to be decided today, remember. Extra time and penalties in the regulations, if necessary. Bolton play Stoke tomorrow in the other semi-final. Valencia heads on. Berbatov apologises, the Bulgarian, and a wasteful ball forward.
I'm not quite sure where the penetration's going to come for Manchester United. Yes, they might be able to be dominant in wide areas, but Berbatov certainly is not going to run behind Man City, and you need penetrative runs. Maybe Nani can go on diagonals in behind the centre halves. So Alex Ferguson will be worried about this early stage of the game.
Fired down by Balotelli. It's an interesting ball from Toure, which Van der Sar swept up.
Well, Balotelli has got pace, he has got power, but well read from Van der Sar. There he flicks it down, Toure gets onto it. It's a really good pass in between the centre halves. What a goalkeeper Van der Sar has been for Manchester United. And many other clubs he's played for.
De Jong. Remarkably, for all their talent, Manchester City haven't won a game outside their own stadium this calendar year. Since Boxing Day at Newcastle. Scored an away goal since they got a very fortuitous one in the 2-1 defeat at Manchester United in February. Credited to Silva, it went in off his back. And that's going to be handball against Abaleta. The other game at Manchester City's home, Eastlands, finished goalless back in November.
It was a game that Mancini tried to draw on right from the outset. As we were talking about before the game, his wide players almost ended up playing just in front of the fullbacks. Yaya Toure played very deep as well.
Carrick. Here's Nani. Has to go squarish to Evra. Wants to take on Adam Johnson. And not too much success. It went out off the City player as he was falling to the ground, claiming he was shoved by Evra. Throw to United though. Nani, Park. Silva tracking back, one or the other.
as he feels as though he got a whack in the face. But Ji-sung Park, we've seen him playing wide area, he's now playing central. He's had a good start to the game. Well, he gets a little tap in the... Whoop, there it comes. I'm not sure that De Jong meant it.
And then he has a bit of a label pinned on him as over-exaggerating incident, so that when there's one like that, when he really is caught, no one's quite sure whether to believe him or not. Company. Headed on by Silva, who wants it back from Johnson. He's got other ideas, including having a shot but from speculative range.
That was a waste from Johnson. Evra made a poor decision. Evra started to go towards the ball. Little flick on from Silva. Now Johnson to come in field, and the overlapping run from Silva. He wasn't played in. He's got a problem also with Silva, because Silva, when he's playing on that left-hand side, he keeps coming in field. There's the communication with his coach. He's worried about Silva coming in field. Where does John O'Shea stay? Does he go with him, or does he stay in his right-back slot? At the moment, he's going in field to a certain degree, but it's allowing Kolarov to come forward, and in the end, Valencia's almost playing as a right-back at times.
Nani. It's a corner for Manchester United.
And that's the ball that Scholes loves to play, that big diagonal in behind the fullback for the pace of Nani.
Coming up to the 12-minute mark in the first FA Cup semi-final of this special weekend. Comes off his line, batters it away beyond Valencia. He settles for the throw.
Good punch from the goalkeeper, height and distance.
Berbatov. Scholes. Now Evra. Nani. Carrick. Easily cut out by Kolarov, who just filled in for Lescott. Lescott very comfortable, of course, at left-back as well. And you look, we talk about Manchester City not having been here before as a club, but you look at the players who've got Wembley experience, like Lescott with England and Everton. Joe Hart, of course, England's first-choice goalkeeper these days, knows his ground well. Gareth Barry, Adam Johnson in the England squad. Scholes, his England days are long behind him. He's still pondering over an offer for extending his playing career to one more season. He only feels that he will do it if he can play a part. He's not had as many games recently as he would have liked. Hasn't quite been getting the headlines that Ryan Giggs has, but it's Scholes given the stage today, not Giggs. O'Shea, Valencia. Silva there, covered a lot of ground already. It's time to try and help the defending in behind Kolarov. Park. Lescott doesn't get it very far. Carrick, Scholes, lovely play. Berbatov! And Hart makes the save. First real chance of the semi-final. It came Berbatov's way.
Well, it was brilliant closing down from Manchester United to start with. They won the ball back quickly, then great link-up play in and around the box.
Nani! Oh, that's another chance. He stretched, he reached it, but he couldn't control it. And Dimitar Berbatov, in a matter of seconds, will feel that he could have given Manchester United the lead. This was an even better chance.
Great chance, brilliant turn from Nani. Here's the previous one. They won the ball back quickly. Link-up play is brilliant. Park finds the pass. Berbatov's running straight. Hart with the save. Once again, Park involved with it. It's a lovely weighted pass for Berbatov. Watch here, how does he get injured? Surely should score. Oh, twist his ankle maybe. He gets the wrong part of the foot on the ball. He can't believe it.
Well, we've said often enough, Stuart, cup matches are not about how well you play, it's about whether you put the ball in the net. Because there's no reprieve if you don't do it. The insult and then the injury.
Two brilliant bits of play from Manchester United. First of all between Scholes, Park and Berbatov to get the chance, and then by Nani with his turn on Zabaleta.
You do fear for Manchester City when they go behind in matches. They don't have the capacity to change games to up the tempo of their play. But if they score first, they're very good at defending those positions. They really should be behind here at Wembley. Berbatov knows it.
Well, there are two sides to Manchester City. I've seen them this season put in great defensive displays. The one where they beat Chelsea at home was probably the best defensive display I've seen this season. And I've also seen them beat teams comfortably. Fulham away, West Ham away, where their passing and creativity was brilliant. They don't seem to be able to match the two together very often.
Berbatov running freely. Valencia getting fuller chase. And Berbatov still flexing, checking that ankle.
Here's how they win the ball back quickly. Good pressure. Carrick, one-touch football. I think he should have gone for the other corner. There's the bit of trickery. Great pass as well. He's first to the ball. He read the pass with Berbatov. Just hit the wrong part of his foot.
Headed by Vidic. And there's a trip by Balotelli on Ferdinand. You can see the frustration for Wayne Rooney, probably thinking, well, I'd have got either one of those chances.
Maybe a couple of months ago he might not have got it, but he would get it at the moment.
Yeah. Here's Nani. Zabaleta comes across on the cover to head it down to where Lescott can clear. O'Shea. United attacking the end behind which the Manchester City supporters are grouped in a vast horseshoe. Those City fans breathing huge sighs of relief at what they've had a close-up view of in the last couple of minutes. Evra. Zabaleta plays safe.
Manchester United are now dominating possession. Dominating the territory as well. They've created the two chances. Their midfielder running the game. We've seen a couple of long passes from Scholes, a couple of long passes from Carrick. The two wide players are trying to run in behind Man City. That's where the penetration is going to come from.
Nani. Scholes. Parks ahead of Evra. Between the wide areas as well as in the thick of it in midfield. Scorer of a goal, of course, on Tuesday. CF Chelsea. Here's Carrick in a bit of space. Comes out toward John O'Shea, who scuffed the shot. Gareth Barry in front of Berbatov. Called out by Toure. Let's stay in play. Because it's Nani's ball. He's past Zabaleta. Two more to try and close him down. Toure, one of them, Mike Dean, just 3 or 4 strides away. Well placed to make the decision.
Well played by Nani as well. A little bit of trickery. Takes it with his left foot. Just invites the challenge from Yaya Toure. Not a lot of contact, but enough.
Carrick. And it's come off the head of Lescott, who was just nudged a little bit by Berbatov, but not so much as the referee would notice.
He had a torrid time here, didn't he? Against Gian for Ghana, in playing for England. Lescott. It's good defending from him. Got in front of Berbatov, didn't allow Berbatov to get the header in.
Park at the short Manchester United corner. Berbatov at the back post. He's just looped it onto the top of the net.
That was better from Berbatov, good determination. Never favourite to win that ball. Got a few problems at the moment, Mancini. His team are being pushed back. Can't get a grip on the game. And they know it as well, these Manchester City supporters.
You're only one slip away from allowing Manchester City in. United at the back. And the side just organising those in front of him. A great communicator. He's coming to the end of his final season with Manchester United. At least in a playing capacity. Scholes. Park setting off through the middle alongside Berbatov at the moment. Nani. Zabaleta gets in the way, breaks Nani's way.
He's given a free kick there, Mike Dean. And a challenge by Evra. Just lost control of it, Evra. There it is. 1 minute back, just brings down Company.
The last 4 times they have met in the FA Cup, Manchester United have got through. 1970, 1987, and then the winning cup years of 1996 and 2004. Dean, just wondering about how that could happen in a match of this magnitude. Halfway through the first half. 2 really good chances for Manchester United, not too much in terms of attacking play from Manchester City.
Well, I think De Jong's playing a little bit too deeply, and so too Gareth Barry. They're only playing up against Park as the attacking midfield player. It means that Carrick and Scholes can start to dominate. They're getting too much time, Carrick and Scholes, on the ball. Here's another long pass from Scholes. It should be 3 versus 3 in that central midfield area. We've seen Wayne Rooney play as the top of that midfield 3 at the moment. It is Park, Hernandez playing alongside Rooney as well.
I'm not too sure about the regulations at this level, Stuart, but I thought if you were suspended, you weren't allowed to be on the bench. But maybe Wayne Rooney has special dispensation. But I may be wrong, those regulations may not be as that. On the bench, but of course not with kit on, unlike Javier Hernandez, as you saw in the back row. Actually scored here in the Community Shield the last time Manchester United played here. They beat Chelsea 3-1. Berbatov was on target that day, coming on as a substitute to wrap up the win. Nani. Hard for Kolarov really to do anything else. He's not got a loud enough call from Joe Hart. Got to play it safe, but it has cost City a corner.
Had he tried to bring it down, Valencia would have been right on top of him. Really dangerous to head the ball back into Joe Hart as well from that area.
It was Vidic going in, typically.
And he arrived late on the scene. Just wandered up. Here he comes, he's unmarked. Runs in between. Company gets beyond Yaya Toure. That was a chance.
Amazing weekend this in London. Migration from the northwest of England. All 4 semi-finalists from that part of the country. And then Liverpool due at Arsenal tomorrow in the Premier League. And it's the London Marathon tomorrow as well. Royal Sporting Spotlight. Barry is too far ahead of Balotelli.
Yeah, Valencia did well, they had to come back. Kolarov was on the overlap. John O'Shea had to go to Barry. He played Valencia. Pass wasn't quite right from Barry.
Berbatov. A bit of a disagreement there between Berbatov and Evra. Berbatov's now just jogging back into an attacking position. And leaving Nani to collect the big diagonal pass and to run at Manchester City, where he's stopped by Zabaleta. Balotelli, supported by Silva. De Jong. Again, the early pace of the passing has dropped, and Manchester United were back. And there were fewer gaps. Adam Johnson, incidentally, saying down beneath us, should have come out right to me.
Mancini furious. He wanted his players to make forward runs there when they had the ball. There was a chance of a counter-attack. They didn't work hard enough to get forward. That's exactly what he's saying. If we are going to counter-attack, you have to do it at pace. I think it was aimed at Kolarov. That little rant from the manager.
Manchester United fans use the 35-year absence without a trophy for Manchester City as a stick to beat their neighbours with. It's the 1976 League Cup that they won at the old Wembley.
Dennis Chewett, wasn't it, with the goal?
Overhead kick. Scholes going to get there first, he does. Valencia. Scholes doesn't go forward as much as he used to, but he's in the box now. Valencia can't quite pick a pass into the middle. He just about found Carrick. Mike Dean's decided that the challenge there was worthy of stopping the game for the free kick.
It wasn't good play from Valencia. I thought he had a 1v1 situation against Kolarov, and we've been talking about how he can go past him. He slowed down, played a square ball. Barry was late with the challenge. And there was a chance for O'Shea to cross the ball. He stopped it just as he was about to deliver the cross.
United initially looked to take this quickly, but the referee has decided that he has to now set it up properly, and that means getting City back the right distance. I think we might see almost as much of Wayne Rooney today as if he was playing. Nani takes a deflection. It's another dead ball situation for Manchester United. A corner. Nani hasn't scored. Scored in that 2-1 win at Old Trafford. The first goal. It's not the one that's remembered the most against City, because Rooney came up with that absolutely glorious winner. Vidic ready to make his run again. Berbatov gets his head to it. And it was just looping interestingly towards that far corner.
When he's determined, he is a good header of the ball. Zabaleta up against him. It's a clear header. Just tries to head it back across the goalkeeper into that vacant far post area. Took a whack for his troubles.
0-0 at Wembley, almost half an hour gone. And that tells you a little bit about the territory of the game. But one successful shot from his team against none on target from the others can take him to a FA Cup final. give Manchester City just that. They're still just bubbling under. Berbatov gets that head wound or bang on the head checked out. Just bubbling under, being really amongst the elite. Signed a whole raft of players in the last couple of years to emphasise the wealth of the backers now from Abu Dhabi. But turning that into a team, getting the chemistry absolutely right. It's not something that happens instantly unless you're very lucky, and they haven't been that lucky.
Here's the challenge again. Just gets one right on the end of the nose. That's what's caused the nosebleed. Been in the wars, hasn't he? But should have certainly have one goal to his name.
Barry. Now Lescott. The nose plugged. Berbatov back on. Johnson. Company. Zabaleta. Silva. It's clever play from him. Barry trying to turn onto his left foot. It hit the net on the outside. United fans deriding the City supporters from certain angles thought that that was 1-0 to Manchester City.
Well, at the moment, there's only looks to be one City player that's going to unlock Manchester United, and that's Silva. Twisted and turned, eventually got his cross in. Balotelli couldn't get hold of it. John O'Shea just does enough to force Barry wide. It's a decent shot from Gareth Barry. First time we've seen him get forward into the penalty box.
That's not a decent kick from Edwin van der Sar. The City fans starting to rev up their noise. Haven't had too much to cheer about with the Gareth Barry effort. And as you say, Stuart, just the involvement from time to time of David Silva, more encouraging. Company. Zabaleta. Toure, now Johnson to skip past Evra. Turn again, but turn back into trouble. Silva's there. Johnson's there again. Headed by Vidic.
I'm not quite sure what Johnson was looking for then. He went past the first chance, he's running into the box, and then he turns himself back out of the box again. That looked like a player out of confidence. Not so this player, David Silva. His passing and his movement have been very good in the game so far. Man City have to do it at pace. If they're going to switch the play round the back, they've again switched it so slowly. Park was out there. Manchester United are going to almost win the ball back.
Kolarov. Balotelli, who tries one. And he does have an opportunity here. He's had a mixed first season under Mancini in Manchester, but there's no doubt about his talent.
Certainly a great strike from him. He just comes off the centre halves. There's no real danger when he picked the ball up. Just let it to run across his body. Van der Sar has to tip it over. He has got power in that shot. We've seen it before this season.
The out-swinging corner has swung right out of the penalty area. So far, Barry has to play it back to the halfway line. And Silva's found space again.
Unfortunately for Silva, it was Lescott that was in the forward area, didn't read the pass. It's a clever little ball from Silva.
Barry. It's the best spell for Manchester City in this first half. Toure. Balotelli. Toure again. Now Silva. I've thought about the shot. It's not really his game. Adam Johnson. He's made good ground here. Well, almost exclusively they use him on the right-hand side, but he's gone onto his natural side here and troubled Manchester United, Adam Johnson.
That was better from Johnson. More positive, he started to get into the box. Valencia stuck a leg out, could easily have given away a penalty.
And they've worked it cleverly from the corner. As Silva, again, not tracked by Manchester United.
Well, Park went to sleep, he tried to stop the short one, but Silva made a different run to the one anticipated by Park. Man City forwards didn't anticipate it.
Company going to the near post. Lescott round the back. Well, Barry side netting, Balotelli long range, Lescott unmarked closer in. Suddenly it's Manchester City we're talking about.
This is a 2v1 situation. I'm not sure where the marking was. Look, Lescott's free. Vidic tries to back in. Berbatov was in there as well. It's O'Shea that's in there. It's very easy. He's got to go with the side foot there. Joleon Lescott, get really good contact, keep the ball down. If you go with your laces, it's always liable to go over the bar.
Only half away by Kolarov. This is Park. His touch wasn't too convincing. Good tackle by O'Shea. Scholes waiting on the edge of the area. Park, in goes Nani, well claimed by Joe Hart.
Good play from Valencia. He realised he had two players in front of him, so just nicked the ball in between the two to Park in the box.
Going on the head for Vidic. I don't know how awkward it was from Balotelli. No one else is complaining about it. Vidic obviously felt something.
It was a poor jump from Balotelli. He was miles away from the ball. Misjudged it completely.
Valencia. Carrick. Scholes. Nani. Oh, actually, Nani was going to lose the ball. Company's.
Well, it all came about from a poor pass from Paul Scholes. Don't say that too often. He hit the ball far too hard. But Nani had to control. Had to concentrate on his control. It's a poor touch from him.
Company got too tight. Gave away a free kick. Taken by Scholes. Nani coming into a congested area. Flipped wide by Scholes. Trademark accuracy. Valencia. All the way across here to Patrice Evra. Made his debut in a Manchester derby. And was taken off at half-time. He found it such a strangely difficult fixture. Here's Nani on a difficult shot on a dropping ball.
Wrong decision, really, from Nani. Could have taken it down. He had Park next to him as well. Just Paul Scholes getting forward. Now they're going to trouble Joe Hart. Well, the last 10 minutes haven't been quite so comfortable for Sir Alex Ferguson. His team have been pressurised a little bit higher up the field. There's been one or two chances for Man City. Silva's started to get more involved in the game and cause problems. Johnson's been on one or two runs. I just felt that when the game started, Man City were playing with fear, Manchester United were playing with confidence.
Carrick. Well, he should be confident if you've just won 7 in a row. And you should be a little fearful if you haven't won an away game in the year 2011, which is how they were when they came out of the tunnel.
Well, it's never offside. When the ball was played, you see Joleon Lescott just keeping Berbatov onside.
Mike Malarkey is the official on the far touchline. Carrick. Again, reflecting that confidence. Vidic. Johnson wins it back. Silva. Balotelli. Kolarov on the move, as we saw Mancini urging him to do when City can counter-attack. There's a bit of a gap, though, that Berbatov tries to fill, but the covering was excellent by Mr. Consistency, Company.
He read the danger. He's also got great pace. Berbatov couldn't match that pace, but it was a clever ball from Nani round the corner.
De Jong, deep for Manchester City. Company. Scholes makes it back from Johnson. Not too many of these Manchester United players have won the FA Cup. And, appearances in finals.
Here's the foul, Yaya Toure. A little nudge. I think the screams and the arms out wide won the foul.
Sean O'Shea was part of the squad that was successful for Manchester United in 2004 when the big events were being staged down in Cardiff, because Wembley was being rebuilt. Ferdinand. Barry stepping in, nicely weighted, wasn't an easy pass to make with the ball off the ground. Silva. Toure furthest forward. A chance to go through the gears here. And it's a corner for Manchester City.
That's when he did his best, Yaya Toure. He thought about coming back here. Now he realises he can get past Scholes. Now he realises he's in a 1v1 situation. I don't think he moved Vidic enough there.
This is Company! That's another fine strike from Manchester City, who've got better after a very tentative start to this semi-final.
It's really good technique. He sweeps this ball as it's coming across him. Sweeps it. Doesn't try and hit it too hard. Goes for the corner. Looks like Berbatov actually gets out the way. Very, very tight.
Their team are getting closer and closer. Lescott above Berbatov. Carrick. Valencia getting his shirt pulled. Berbatov. Disappointing at the sharp end of things again.
Valencia was having his shirt pulled. So too was. Here's the chance he missed. What an opportunity it was as well. And he gets that over the bar. Almost impossible. Here's the shot from Balotelli, hit with power. Swerve a little bit. Not involved in the first 30 minutes almost. Balotelli hardly had a touch. It's been his best moment so far.
Well, they're beginning to believe that they should be here, the supporters, after being quite apprehensive in the first 20 minutes or so. Here comes Patrice Evra. He's got a very good angle for the cross. Valencia looks behind for another United corner.
Good play from Evra, not so good from Zabaleta. Oh, really for Evra to go, but Zabaleta dived in. And the cross came over, the 2v1 situation.
Well, here we are right on half-time.
Zonal marking from Man City means that Vidic can get a run on it.
To play though between Valencia and Scholes. Carrick Half away by Zabaleta, back to Carrick, here's Nani. Off goes Vidic, but he won't catch that. 2 added minutes to half-time. And there's no doubt that the 2 best chances of the first half have fallen to his striker, Dimitar Berbatov. Evra. Nani. Carrick, pass 1, Scholes. That's good work. And the Silva to the fore, but they can't keep it, Manchester City, having put in a big shift to try and get it back. United's throw.
De Jong working with company to stop Nani.
A bit slow to pick himself up, but he's there if required. Cheeky from Evra. I don't think they're in a position for the flicks and the tricks yet.
Manchester United started the game well. Those 2 opportunities for Dimitar Berbatov. Jason Park playing in the position that Wayne Rooney has vacated through his suspension. Started the game very well. He's just faded in the last 20 minutes. And Man City playing further up the field now. They're getting Yara Toure in more advanced positions. Silva's causing problems with his movement.
Tried to press the man on the ball there, but only found a way out of it. Here's Berbatov coming in back post. Unlucky because he actually cushioned it back onto himself.
Well, the first touch was excellent. It went onto his knee. Watch here, just watches the ball, allows it to come onto his knee. There's the second one. Not been his half, has it?
A brooding Bulgarian. Well, there's no doubt, starting the semi-final, Manchester United had the psychological edge over City, and that showed for the first 20 minutes or so, in which they made the 2 chances for Dimitar Berbatov. Hart saved the first. How Berbatov put the second over the bar, only really he knows. But City got better as the half wore on, and they got used to the occasion and the opposition. Balotelli had a fine shot from distance, and other good efforts by Barry and company, offering hope for Mancini's men. At the break, it's Manchester City 0, Manchester United 0. A project, as they call it, to get the club up to the levels that are occupied and have been occupied by Manchester United in the Ferguson years, for most of the Ferguson years. And this is a potentially significant day for Manchester City in that quest to increase their profile even more. They've come from all around the football globe to try and buy into a setup that has irritated Sir Alex Ferguson, judging by some of his comments over the past season. The noisy neighbours, as Manchester City have been referred to.
It's the first diagonal of the second half. Out to Nani. Zabaleta just got there first. Look how much time Scholes and Carrick have already got on the ball here.
Vidic. And Barry. Balotelli can turn. And we saw in the first half that can spell problems for Manchester United. But this time, rather than shooting, he was looking for the support of Toure. Carrick. Ferdinand has had a long day. And it might be longer still, because there could be, of course, extra time here.
Just overhit there from Vidic into Berbatov. That's got very tight to him. There's a feature of Berbatov's play up top and backing into centre halves, bringing the ball down on his chest, linking up with others. Of course, he had a great partnership with Keane, didn't he? Robbie Keane.
At the gallop, here comes Kolarov. a goal kick.
That's what I was talking about in the first half. Silva goes infield, he takes O'Shea with him, then the big ball and Kollarov's forward run. Good decision from the referee as well, Mike Dean, to give a goal kick. Ferdinand read it because Valencia was left upfield there.
Just wonder, with the two Champions League quarter-finals, not that far distant, how much that took out of Manchester United. Not so much the physicality of it, because obviously they're fine athletes, but the emotion of it.
A few months ago, you could have blamed the pitch here, couldn't you? But not on that occasion.
No, they've done very well.
The pitch is in excellent condition.
Ferdinand has played pretty much within himself. He hasn't played very much at all. 4 the games against Chelsea. It's his latest calf problem. Scholes. And young Stuart went a lot further forward with Scholes that time, as perhaps you've been urging him to do.
Certainly did. Almost man marking in midfield on that occasion.
Lescott. Now Kolarov. Company. Balotelli. And here comes Kolarov. Chance here for Manchester City. And Balotelli going to the near post. It's a corner. Oh, no, it's not. It must have come off Mario Balotelli.
But once again, look at Valencia. O'Shea's very narrow. The ball's played out wide for Kolarov, as Mancini was urging him to do in the first half. Good opportunity at that near post.
Oh, Joe Hart completely shanking the attempted clearance. And now all the bother for Manchester City, but Gareth Barrier, steadying influence, so often calms it down. Toure can pull the ball down.
Brilliant from Vidic, absolutely brilliant. He realised that Yaya Toure was going to outrun Michael Carrick. He got across, he's having to go at Michael Carrick now. Good interception from Vidic. He goes down rather easily, it has to be said.
Right in front of the assistant.
And here's that slice from Joe Hart. Does it even hit his standing foot? He's prone to the odd error.
Well, he had one back in the third round against Leicester City. They were drawn away against a club from one division below, managed by a former Manchester City boss, Sven-Göran Eriksson, and they carried one straight down to Leicester's Andy King, and it was a replay. They've actually had 1 or 2 more games in this cup run than they needed. They had to play Leicester home again in the replay. Notts County also, they drew away to a side 2 divisions below them. Fouled by Evra.
Well, I think he's going for the ball here. You will get this clash of heads when 2 players are attempting to head it. Well played, Adam Johnson, just backing in, just getting the little flick on. Doesn't know the challenge is coming. That would hurt.
Yes, Adam Johnson has to go off before he's allowed on. Had Evra needed treatment, they both could have stayed straight on. It's a new regulation that came in for this season, but it doesn't matter hugely. Johnson was only off for a matter of seconds. Ferdinand, not much margin for error there, and he's kicked it straight to Silva, Edwin van der Sar. And then Carrick giving it away to Toure, who's in for Manchester City here! It's the blue side of Manchester celebrating the first goal in the semi-final, the Manchester derby at Wembley. Mancini unmoved, Ferguson unmoved, but certainly they're moved behind the goal that Touré has just put the ball in. It was a defensive catastrophe for Manchester United. First this, and then this.
Well, Carrick tried to play the ball square to Scholes, and that's what Yaya Touré's good. Once he was facing Vidic, there was no stopping. He's got pace, he's got power, he got to the side of him. He tried to do it once in the first half, but this time, well, it goes between the legs of Van der Sar. He doesn't connect with it properly, but he's brilliant in these situations, Yaya Touré. The best in the Premier League at the moment, in a 1v1 situation where it's just power and pace are involved. What a start to the second half.
That's yeah for City from Yaya.
Now, the one thing that Mancini can't come out and do now is say to Yaya Touré, drop that bit deeper. Say to Adam Johnson, drop deeper. David Silva, drop a little bit deeper, because that will hand the initiative back to Manchester United. They've got to keep pressing, they've got to play high up the field. They don't want to just sit on this 1-0 lead.
Ferdinand. It's back to Van der Sar. That's what started the problem. The back pass initially to Edwin van der Sar. Wasn't comfortable, was it? It was in a tight area. But even so, Michael Carrick could have done more. No one will know better than him. But once Touré pounced on it, City were in, and here they come again with the goal scorer. And again.
Had he played Zabaleta in that little bit earlier, Vidic started to come, he should have played the ball.
Well, Stuart, we said earlier, Manchester City are in trouble when they concede the first goal. When they score it, and this is the first goal they've scored away from the City of Manchester Stadium since they got one in the Manchester derby at Old Trafford. But they do defend the lead well. Well, we'll see if they're as good as that boast.
Well, the game that I saw, where you're exactly right, they went 1-0 up against Chelsea. Tevez scored the goal. They were at home, and then they defended for their lives. The work rate, the work ethic, the speed in which they closed people down, the understanding, the tactical understanding was excellent. Can they show it again here? But this is the man that's put them in charge.
Well, no one's talking treble amongst the Manchester United supporters at the moment. Here's Park. Again, the excellent company, and he gives and goes. There's two to Balotelli's left, one of whom is Silva. Company's in the middle. This could be one of the great Wembley goals, but it just lacked the final pass.
Well, I think he was trying to get Company back in. Could have gone for goal himself there. Yaya Touré is key, not just as he scored the goal, but every time they start to counter-attack, it's Yaya Touré that's running 20, 30 yards with the ball. Carrick can't cope with it.
Manchester City with the lead. Manchester City with the bit between their teeth. Kolarov. Barry. Silva. And Touré. Balotelli's in the middle. And Vidic was on his toes and needed to be.
There was no way he could actually get it to Balotelli. Balotelli was standing in between Vidic and Evra. But once again, Touré goes past. This player's had an effect on the game as well. Silva, we've seen Kolarov get forward in this second half, forcing Valencia back. It's a much improved Man City side now, not just from the goal, their general play.
Balotelli. And again, after Carrick once more had missed, this time the throw to Young. Zabaleta. They certainly finished the first half the stronger Manchester City, and they've started the second half with the opening goal of semi-final weekend. And it is the stuff of dreams if you're from the blue side of Manchester.
Here's the goal again. Carrick gets on the ball, tries to play a square pass. He reads it, Yaya Touré. holds off the challenge of Carrick, goes past Vidic. He tried it once in the first. He doesn't actually make good connection with it. He hits it with almost his heel.
We've got some celebrity fans, Manchester City, particularly from the music world. And they might be thinking of writing a song, the Gallaghers, if it's a win here, about such a semi-final occasion over Manchester United.
Better from De Jong as well, starting to play forward passes. Mainly in the first 25 minutes, he was playing square, playing back to his centre-halves. On that occasion, he's looking to play Balotelli in behind.
O'Shea is looking a bit ragged. And here is Kolarov, and might break for Scholes. Doesn't quite get there, but Berbatov doesn't quite get there. It's a little symbol of what we're seeing so far. Manchester City with that extra edge. In truth, Manchester United haven't made too much since those Berbatov chances.
No, they haven't. But their midfield players haven't been given so much time on the ball. Would have probably been here when they beat Leicester in the FA Cup, that supporter.
Well, it's poignant, isn't it? We mentioned at the start of our programme when Manchester City last won the Cup against Leicester 1969. The scorer of the only goal of that game, Neil Young, recently passed away. And there's been a lot of extra poignancy and probably passion on the City Cup run. So Bobby Charlton, though, very much from the other side of the divide. Mike Summerby from the 69, the boys of 69 for City.
Certainly weathered well, Mike Summerby.
Lescott. Kolarov forward again. And here's Balotelli. Trying to improve the angle. Caught between two stools, really. Nani sent flying. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Zabaleta stepping forward from the right-back position, wanting to make sure Manchester United couldn't play out. That's how they scored the goal. Not through great fluency, by winning the ball back early in Manchester United's half. It's a key area of football. You must win the ball back quickly.
This Manchester United squad hasn't had that much praise this season. And really, the whole has been greater than the sum of the individual parts in the last few weeks. And now they need maybe some individual inspiration. It won't be long, perhaps, before we see Hernandez.
It was unlucky from Balotelli. Rio Ferdinand tried to step in front of him. Balotelli, I think, is okay. Shielding the ball. Feels that Ferdinand was trying to get in front of him. Just got his body in the way. Ferdinand fortunate.
2 years ago, it's quite clear that Alex Ferguson didn't set too much store by the FA Cup, by the team that he played in the semi-final against Everton. And they were beaten, though it took penalties to decide that day. But this is different. This is against Manchester City. And they're on the wrong end of it at the moment, and it could get worse because it's Balotelli from Yaya Touré's pass. First touch wasn't the greatest, but it's a corner. And City come again and again.
And it's that man again, Yaya Touré, running with the ball, driving at Manchester United's back four. Carrick nowhere to be seen. It's a poor touch, really, from Balotelli. Good defending from Vidic.
It's good work from the corner from Adam Johnson. Brilliant play from him. And it could easily have gone in off Van der Sar. They're looking not to rest on the lead, but to increase it.
There's 2 or 3 times now from these sort of set plays. They've got 2v1. Manchester United don't send the second player out until it's too late, and whenever he gets out there, he's beaten too easily by Adam Johnson. I'm not quite sure what Adam Johnson was looking for, a cross or a shot. Just hitting hope, really. Here it's again, same situation.
Johnson crosses this time. Toure decided to take it down when he could have just popped a header back across the face of the goal. But City in full cry.
Well, I was just about to say I thought he did quite well there. I thought he was going to get the shot away because Ferdinand started to jump for the header. Ferdinand recovered well. So, Manchester United a little bit ragged at the moment, don't they? They've lost their way.
Silva. It's a great cross, and coming in was Jolyon Lescott.
Once again, 2v1 out at the corner. Evra comes out too late, can't stop the cross. I think Jolyon Lescott, he gets a run, he should score. There's no question about it. Berbatov had gone to sleep. Bit of wrestling in the box. What a chance that is. When he was playing for Everton, he scored goal after goal from those sort of situations. Not so many for Man City. There's the shirt tugging of John O'Shea.
Berbatov heads on. Nani. This is a relatively rare attack from Manchester United, but they need to attack. Scholes just playing it behind Park. Gets it back nonetheless to Evra. Park again. Berbatov's in the middle, so is Valencia. Park. Still Park. And City able to shut the door in United's faces. Parker stayed down. Trying to get back on his feet to get back onside. Red roars you're hearing now. O'Shea. Ferdinand. Well, sometimes you look at games such as this and you think one team just wants it more, and at the moment that team is Manchester City, but never rule out Manchester United when you're looking for sides that come back. Down goes Park. Scholes goes on. And Hart makes the save, but the free kick's been given.
Ji-sung Park just getting involved again.
Out. Sorry, Stuart.
There's a poor challenge from Zabaleta right on the edge of the box. Park goes past the first challenge, plays the second one. Does throw himself up in the air, calls Ji-sung Park, but I think he's trying to get out the way of the challenge.
Off goes Valencia. And on comes that penalty area pickpocket, Javier Hernandez. He's had such a wonderful first season.
I think that means that Ji-sung Park will go out to the left-hand side, Nani might come to the right, and those two will play up front.
United trying to get players on the end of the wall to create a bit of space maybe for Nani to get the shot through. 20 minutes played in the second half. Up steps Nani. Oh, it's onto the bar. In goes Berbatov. It's not Manchester United's day. It's too high for Hernandez. A great free kick, and Joe Hart reaching up.
Was he late to react here? It's a great free kick. Well, he dived past the ball to start with. It went straight at him. It may have looked a good save. Oh, it takes a deflection. That was the key. It took a deflection, so it's an excellent save. I think it comes off Balotelli's head. He's going past the ball. He's just had to react. He should actually palm it over the bar. It's not a good save on second viewing, third viewing.
What it did do was preserve Manchester City's 1-0 lead at Wembley. There'll be City fans in the stadium, City fans watching our coverage all around the world, who will find it hard to watch what remains of this game. They feel they owe Manchester United plenty. And this would be one to put in the history books. Bring you a trophy, but it does bring you a huge amount of local pride, and it's a step towards a trophy. Each time, it's happened a couple of times before that City have knocked United out of the FA Cup. 1926 semi-final, 1955 in the run to the old Wembley. They lost the final on both occasions. It's a hand-off by Company, and Mike Dean may have given the earlier free kick.
Balotelli it was. Sure, he may get booked for this, Balotelli. Carrick plays the ball up. Balotelli gets in very tight, slides in.
So yellow cards in quick succession for Balotelli and Zabaleta as Manchester United try to write another page in their bumper book of football comebacks. Vidic, Nani. Lescott playing it forward and trying to bring the back line up. Confirmation there of the earlier punishment for Zabaleta for giving away the free kick that Hart turned onto the bar. Ferdinand. All agitation on the City bench. Second goal might calm them down a bit. Look capable of it. Here's Park. Such a big influence early in the game, but not now.
He can run around for about 65, 70 minutes to great effect. He often gets brought off in games. Runs himself into the ground.
Of course, he hasn't been back in the team long. Got a hamstring injury actually in the build-up in the last training session before the derby in February when City played at Old Trafford. Here's a Kolarov. Having a go O'Shea, having a go for goal.
Oh, had he got his head up a little bit earlier, David Silva had made a run in between Vidic and Evra, was in. Here's the mistake, first of all from Van der Sar, and then the mistake from Michael Carrick. Too obvious with his pass. And Yaya Toure does the rest. Here he goes, he has a little look. Obvious where he was going to play the ball. He read it well, Yaya Toure.
Well, he has been labelled, Yaya Toure, as the best paid player of the Premier League clubs. He's earned his money if that turns out to be a semi-final winner. Johnson. Here's Balotelli. So we haven't mentioned him so far, Stuart. Kolo Toure, of course, is not available for Manchester City at the moment after failing a drugs test. So it's as if Yaya's playing for the family as well as for the club.
He certainly is. And Kolo Toure and company were forming a really good partnership earlier in the season. It's a real shame for Kolo Toure because he was outstanding alongside Vincent Kompany.
Scholes. Well, it will be billed this if it stays this way, and still 20 minutes to go. But they missed Rooney more than City missed Tevez. But as I say, with Manchester United, nothing can be taken for granted. And how much of a factor is it that the manager is banned from the touchline?
I don't think it makes too much. Has too much effect because he's certainly communicating with the bench. Could probably seen the game better from up there.
Both punishments really brought upon themselves for player and boss. Park, Scholes. High foot, they're not happy on the City bench. What's Mike Dean going to make of this? Paul Scholes, all his career has been fated for his footballing skills and blamed for late tackles.
Both went with their foot up, the ball was there to be won. Scholes wasn't quite sure whether to go for it, then he decided.
Mike Dean has sent him off, and Manchester United a goal down and now a man down.
Oh, I'm not sure about this. The ball was there to be won between the two of them. Both, I think, went with their foot up. Zabaleta just got there before Paul Scholes. He can't believe it.
Albert Morgan, the kit man, escorts him towards the tunnel. this was the incident.
See, Zabaleta goes with his foot up. Yes, he catches him, Scholes. He catches him high. Is he going for the ball? Oh, it's late. It's late. Mike Dean had a good view of it. He goes over the top of the ball. And in that sense, Mike Dean was right.
And with Paul Scholes, maybe the treble. Maybe this match goes for Manchester United. Remember, Scholes was sent off in a quarter-final a few years back. And now he goes in a semi-final at Wembley, where he's done the double. He was sent off playing for England at the old Wembley. And now for Manchester United at the new stadium.
How are they going to reorganise Manchester United now? Still going to keep the two up front, by the looks of it, until Anderson comes on. It may be Park that's the player to go off. It's going to be Berbatov.
Well, there was that tweak of the ankle when he missed his second chance. Anderson, who has been out for a while, not had a very good season in terms of injuries, is now to come on and run around for two men, really. David Platt having a word with Roberto Mancini about a possible substitution. He's calling back, or certainly calling to, those who are warming up down the touchline. Anderson.
De Jong never really had a chance of winning the ball there. Anderson was always had his body between De Jong and the ball.
That's three City players now who are carrying that extra burden of one yellow card.
It's a silly challenge as well, because Anderson is going nowhere. Anderson tries to make the most of it. Don't want to see that.
Chance for Manchester United, but the free kick not really deep enough from Nani. Now Carrick.
And he had a good first half, Michael Carrick. Not so good in the second half. Gave the pass for the goal for Man City. The Authorities run off him time and time again. Started to give the ball away.
O'Shea, Anderson. Now Park, nowhere to go. Silva. Kolarov. And this is where the experience that Manchester City have will be so much to their advantage. Keeping the ball, moving Manchester United, depleted Manchester United about. Silva, Johnson, Zabaleta. Oh, the City fans are loving this.
It always concerns me with the team playing against 10 men and they start to pass square and back and don't play at high tempo, and the players don't run off the ball. They could play the game almost entirely in Manchester United's half if they press the ball and they try and keep it in that half.
Carrick. Looks long for Hernandez. Keeping his eye on the ball. There's a company. Stand-in skipper today with Tevez out, we understand, for several weeks. United have a corner.
He went to sleep, Man City, on that right-hand side. Quick throw-in. Into the dangerous situation with Hernandez running at Zabaleta. He's still feeling the effects of that knock.
Well, they're set up, as you rightly said, Stuart, zonally again. Can someone force their way into a gap for Manchester United and get their head on this corner? Carrick tries to steer it, but in the end too close to Joe Hart for Manchester United.
It was a great bit of disguise in the first place. Looked as though he was going to play it with his right foot. Then he tries to bend it into the far corner. Doesn't start it wide enough. And it goes straight at Hart.
Kolarov. Silva. And breakdown in communication. I don't think Balotelli's the easiest teammate to read. But they've got a bit of a margin here, Manchester City. As long as they keep their focus, keep their concentration. They're trying to get Sean Wright-Phillips on, possibly for Adam Johnson. Kolarov. Here's Silva. Kolarov. Anderson gets back.
Well, Barry should have pressed there, so should Silva. Keep Manchester United pen back. Silva hasn't gone with any urgency. Doesn't matter. Nani kicks it out of play.
Here comes the substitution. Here's another look. Stewart. Of course, in slow motion, it looks that much later. There's the damage done. And you take the risk in the way the game is refereed these days of making the high challenge and not getting the ball.
That's always the problem. It was in between the two players, and actually Scholes slowed down. He slowed down as he was going to the ball, and then realised he could have got it. That was his error.
Well, there have been plenty of rumours about Manchester City not all being together as a group, not all the players buying into the Mancini way of training. James Milner came off grumpily at Liverpool only on Monday night. Others like Balotelli and Tevez have shown a bit of dissent when substituted. But suddenly, a match like this can bring the ties that bind. Manchester United are getting Fabio warmed up to come on.
Sure, that would be for Park down that left-hand side. That's where he played against Arsenal, was it? Fabio was almost as a left winger.
Yeah, the twin-pronged wide attack from the twins. Raphael is injured at the moment. Rio Ferdinand, who's certainly short of match sharpness, is just doing what he has to do, really, getting it and giving it. All sorts of difficulties for Manchester United today, but most of them, if you like, self-inflicted. Hernandez here. Can he find a way back? Now Nani. Trying to bar him from getting into the penalty area where his quick feet could add greater problems. Drilled across by O'Shea. Park rising. So too does Hart.
Well, I think Zabaleta might want to come off there. He's looking across at the bench. Park does brilliantly up against Zabaleta. It's a good cross from O'Shea. Park jumps early, can't quite head it into the path of Hernandez.
10 minutes to go. Hernandez would have been offside and knew it.
There's no excuse for that, is it? That's just lazy from Hernandez. He's got to get back onside.
Kolarov into the last 10 minutes, unless depleted Manchester United can equalise here against gung-ho Manchester City, who were slow into their stride, but having got there in the latter stages of the first half, kept on going, and they've cashed in a double Manchester United error, really. Here's Kolarov covering the ground again. Balotelli waiting far post. Kolarov looking for a bit of personal glory. Breaks to Barry. Now De Jong. Here's Wright-Phillips skipping past Evra. Three in the middle. That's too close to the man in the yellow. Van der Sar. Park to Nani. How quickly Silva first to make the challenge, to deny Nani space. An individual player like Nani can make light of the odds which are stacked against Manchester United for the most part.
Having just seen how Wright Phillips went past Evra with great ease, and you're just looking at Patrice Evra, he really is out on his feet, struggling to get forward. Looks very tired mentally and physically. If Wright Phillips can get at him, it's another avenue where Man City could profit.
It might be Fabio for him. Here's Anderson. Now Evra. Trying to recover his power and pace. And wedged away as far as John O'Shea. Steeped in the history of Manchester United, long-serving player. Knows in the Manchester area what this will mean, what he'll have to live with. Here's Barry. Played in a cup final before with Aston Villa at the old Wembley. It's 11 years ago. He's closing in on playing and one in the new one. And that's company.
Well, I don't think Park was going to get onto that, but he was clever. He let the ball run across his body. He realised Company was coming tight. All he had to do was flick it past him. Company was going to clash into him.
Well, we got it wrong on both counts, Stuart. It's John O'Shea who's going off.
Blatant obstruction. Quite rightly, Company gets booked.
Here comes Fabio to try and breathe some energy into the attacking side of the right of Manchester United. Evra still going from the left.
I'll take back what I said about Evra looking tired. He's now getting forward as well. What a big 7 or 8 minutes this is for Roberto Mancini.
And Ferdinand trying to get a message to those playing further forward. These supporters who have seen so much in terms of triumph for Manchester United, although this stadium hasn't been the greatest for them. They lost the FA Cup final here to Chelsea in 2007. We mentioned the semi-final against Everton 2 years ago. Had more success in the League Cup at the new Wembley. Fabio. Hernandez. Fabio's offside.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Carrick was playing the ball for Fabio. I think he was playing it for Hernandez. Hernandez had played the square pass and was looking for the next ball through. He just changed his mind, Hernandez, at the last minute where he was going to run. Fabio was caught offside.
And they've got the wise old head of Patrick Vieira for the last 5 minutes or so, who sent Manchester United to an FA Cup final defeat in 2005 with his last kick of the ball as an Arsenal player in that penalty shootout in Cardiff. An old rival of Manchester United from his Arsenal days.
David Silva looks like the player to come off for Patrick Vieira.
David Silva taking his tie-ups off, taking his time, making sure he was a fair way away from the touchline that he's heading for. Sparkling player.
It also goes to prove you can play the game without pace, because he hasn't got great pace, but he's got a superb football brain, excellent technique, he can see a pass, and he was outstanding again today, David Silva. Looks though Gareth Barry is going to play slightly left of Patrick Vieira. Young to the right of him. Vieira's going to almost be the holding midfield player.
Well, it will only be a place in the final, but the final whistle here for Manchester City will feel like winning the FA Cup, the Premier League, the Champions League, all rolled into one, because they have had a lot of hurt from Manchester United's success. Been rammed down their throats. Supporters going to work week in, week out in Manchester United, but it isn't done yet because United haven't given it up. But that wasn't the percentage ball, it was a shot of some desperation from Evra into the side netting. 3 minutes plus added time to go.
It's a great opportunity for him, Zabaleta. As Zabaleta backs off, he should be going to meet Evra. Instead, he just runs into his own box, Zabaleta. Always a danger when you do that. If you stick a leg out, it's a penalty. Evra makes the wrong decision, a poor decision, Patrice Evra.
I don't know about you, Stuart, but at the time of those Berbatov misses, particularly the two in a matter of seconds, you did wonder whether that would come back to haunt Manchester United. No Rooney today. City resolute if they get into the game, and that would have been an early chance to knock them out of their stride.
Well, you actually said it in commentary. You have to score those chances. They get away from you. It's a real problem. Manchester City have grown in confidence. I don't think they've played particularly well in the last 10-15 minutes. They've allowed Manchester United, the 10 men of Manchester United, to gain some momentum. It's more that Manchester United will get the equaliser now than Man City going on and getting the second. That must come down to a little bit to the coach as well. They've gone defensive again.
And human nature, you just tend to sit that little bit deeper, make the opposition have the ball and think, well, they're not going to score today past us, but they might just, but not like that. Parker turned his back. Evra, great credit. That sums Manchester United's refusal to accept what looked the inevitable when Scholes was sent off. Here's the match winner at the moment, Yaya Toure, out to Balotelli.
Not the best decision from Balotelli. He's given the ball away cheaply. Look at the David Platt and Roberto Mancini are screaming at Balotelli to get back.
Incidentally, the nature of the dismissal for Scholes will mean a 3-match ban.
Look at Mancini having a go at Balotelli there.
In the Premier League run-in for Scholes, doesn't affect him in Europe. Well, they're starting to believe now. And the FA Cup hasn't been a good competition for Wayne Rooney. The sponsors man of the match announces Yaya Toure. Here's Nani. Great block by Barry. Wright Phillips. Balotelli. Toure. Vieira. Here comes Barry. And United are in trouble here. Out comes Van der Sar. Toure couldn't quite hook in his second. Oh, there's 5 added minutes. And Manchester United are on the counter-attack. Hernandez. Anderson. Now Fabio. Hernandez is very good in the air, but not that good.
It wasn't a good pass from Fabio. Yaya Toure. There was a 4 versus 2 here. Watch when the ball's played wide. 4 Man City players against 2. I think he plays it too early. He works really hard, Yaya Toure, to get to the ball. Van der Sar did his job, and it allowed Vidic just to get back. Certainly no penalty. But that was a great opportunity. No, not a penalty, Roberto.
Anderson. Park. United flooding into the middle. Anderson was there and he left his foot in. That'd be a free kick. Just caught Joleon Lescott.
Well played from Joleon Lescott. But it shouldn't. Mancini saying Manchester United shouldn't be allowed to get that far up the field. They're 1 player short. Anderson runs with the ball, plays it into Park, carries on his run. He runs past 2 or 3 Man City players. And it's the centre-half who has to step across right at the last minute. Some tired players here for Man City.
30 years since their last semi-final. 30 years, they won it. So 30 years since their last final. And it took 2 games for Tottenham to beat them, including the famous Ricky Villa goal.
His heart rate must be almost at maximum.
And right Phillips got round Vidic. Oh, and there it was again. A place in the final on a plate, it seemed. And once more United surrender possession in their own half. They're running on empty, as you'd expect with 10 men, and with a number of really big games that they have played recently. I can say the same about City, but it's not quite been of the same stature. Balotelli, well, you've got to fetch it.
If you're going to miss the target, miss it by about 20 yards over the bar, but the other City players are going mad at him because they had an overload there. He could have passed it into Wright Phillips, he could have passed it to Yaya Toure. De Jong made a forward run as well.
But if they come back from this Manchester United, it would almost surpass what happened in that Champions League final against Bayern Munich. And they weren't a man down, they were a goal down. Less than 2 minutes of stoppage time remain. The champagne is on ice at that end.
Very sensible from Yaya Toure. Dived into the challenge and got himself sent off there. He just pulled out at the last minute.
Fabio, this might be the last chance for Manchester United. And it's Javier Hernandez back across the face of the goal. That was a sensible header. Anderson, it's a stray header. And here goes Balotelli. All arms and legs, Yaya Toure to take it on, but it's Balotelli who's penalised. And it'll go forward one more time for United via the short route. Evra, Park, Hernandez, collar off. Oh, how cool is that? In the last minute of stoppage time in an FA Cup semi-final. Not so cool from Barry. Vidic with the throw.
The one thing they don't want to do is give away a free kick anywhere around the penalty area to allow Manchester United to throw a ball into the box and get Vidic up. They know it's over, or they think it's over.
Van der Sar. It was just too high for Hernandez. And that's going to be as long a throw as Manchester United can muster here. Now it goes short to Anderson. Hardly time for the cross. It's driven in by Evra. Park going for it. Foul by Fabio. That surely is that. Just wait for the explosion of joy. At least from one end of the stadium. Some of the others have already gone. Manchester City are in the FA Cup final, and they've done it at the expense of Manchester United. Days don't get much better than this for City, their fans, their players, and a somewhat beleaguered Roberto Mancini.